John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now, told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog, yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk, don't care what they say. I don't got no patience, I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits, and I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes, I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business, and I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it, dog, like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my. Been ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been better. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it an FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities that never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my. Big dog walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch out step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch out touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, I can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on a roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand, like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Yo, you guys got me dying in chat right now. Shout out to Franklin Candelabra, public fib puller at large. Shout out to you, brother. That name is an absolute felony. Shout out to you guys. But what is going on, Mafia? We got an amazing show for you tonight as Bitcoin has gotten the drop to the downside. And if you guys tuned into the live stream yesterday, you will know that we were looking at some things on Market Cypher B. Maybe it was a 12-hour red dot. Looking for that. What is on my hat? Looking for that potential move to the downside. And yesterday was kind of like 64K or 60K. And unfortunately, that 12-hour red dot brought us down to the lower option, which was 60K. So what are we expecting next on Bitcoin, guys? I want to talk about the higher time frames and some of the bearish signals we've been watching. Because as you guys know, as we've broken down out of that macro volume profile, we have been showing a little bit of weakness, and that key level that we needed to reclaim was unfortunately not reclaimed. So are we about to get that bigger drop to the downside to 51 to 52K and maybe even lower, or are we going to see a strong bounce here? I'm going to try to break everything down for you guys on tonight's live stream. Smash that like button if you guys have not already. Shout out to Golden. Yo, shout out to Golden with the 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Unbelievable. And Golden said he was watching on a project 75-person home movie theater in his like 150,000 square foot mansion. Shout out to Golden, guys. Drop that golden emoji if you just got a free membership. Golden is keeping everybody with those green names, and we appreciate you, bro. I know the Mafia does as well. But guys, we got a lot to look at on the charts. Let's shout out to the Candle Mafia real quick before we jump on into the charts. We got Roy in the chat. Shout out to Roy. We got Bitfrog, obviously Golden. We got Michael Lutz, who just got a membership. Shout out to you, brother. Okay. Oh, my God. The chat's going way too fast. I can't even read it. Shout out to Felipe. What is going on? Mark Dutch. Where's Dave Digital, guys? We need Dave Digital in the chat before we start the live stream. But, guys, don't forget to show some love to our mods in the chat. We got Rob the Crypto Stomp, Crypto Billy, Chemistry Bro, Crypto Anon, Captain Kirk. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. How do I get a membership, Frankie? Shout out to Crypto Knights. I like that name, bro. You got to make sure that you go into your YouTube settings and you activate your gift. I think it says enable gifts. You have to enable it or you can't get gifted memberships. So make sure that setting is set. And then, I don't know. Golden just makes it rain constantly. So you'll probably wind up green at some point if you hang out in the live stream. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. And like I said, take a look at the bearish case here. And then we'll also talk about the last resort support that we're looking at, guys, and that one scenario that we need in order to see Bitcoin flip bullish again. So let's go ahead and cover it all right now. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's go. So here we are, guys, on, I don't know if you could have guessed this, but the Bitcoin chart. So let's go ahead and take a look, guys. First off, I want to zoom out a little bit and talk about the bearish scenario that we were looking at in the long term. Now, obviously, guys, come up to the daily time frame here. Obviously, this is our larger range that we had going here. This is on the daily time frame. This was our major range that we were in, and we are now starting to lose this range again, right? Now, obviously, we got the original breakdown out of this range where we were looking for something very specific, and that was simply a retracement to the upside. Now, as you guys know, if you've been watching the live stream at any point in recent future, you guys will know that we've been looking at some very specific things on the higher time frames that were pointing to lower prices, and that was on the 2-day time frame. We did have the money flow, actually on the daily as well. Daily money flow was in the red as well, but the 2-day money flow crossing over into the red. We also have the 3-day money flow curving back out here as well. 4-day kind of not looking as bad as the 2-day or the 3-day, but then the 5-day also not looking as bad. But the 2 and the 3-day money flow crossovers are looking pretty bearish, or were looking pretty bearish, at least on the 2-day. 3-day has not crossed over just yet, but you can see locally we are getting a little bit of curvature to the downside. So this was making us kind of approach the charts with a little bit more of a high time frame bearish bias, looking for the long-term trend to continue down. Now, we have been looking at this all the way up until we came up to the value area high here. We did have a short setup in the premium Discord to take the short from this SFP from the high of the range, and that trade has played out all the way through this volume profile. But even though, although we had the money flow crossover into the red, we knew once we lost this range, we would very likely get a retracement to the upside. Now, we were looking at some specific levels of resistance for that retracement to come into, and that one big level, guys, was the value area low of the range. Now, as you guys know, this is the key level that we want to reclaim as support in order to get a bigger move up to that POC or the value area high. Now, with the money flow crossover into the red on the 2-day, as well as the daily money flow coming out, we were looking for these retracements to be somewhat lackluster to put in a lower high and continue the move to the downside, potentially leading to a much bigger breakdown. If we wind up losing these wick lows at 56.6, we could wind up getting that move all the way down to that 51 to 52K level, where we have our next level of support, which I will just draw with this little box here. Between about $51,000 and $52,000 is going to be that next higher term target if we do get that continued move to the downside. Now, this dump to 51 to 52K is not quite just guaranteed yet, guys, but this is something that we have to continuously bring up, especially with this not only money flow crossover, but fresh 2-day red dot. I don't want to be the guy that is looking down at lower prices, but we just have to use what is given to us on the charts to make our decisions. And with the money flow coming out on the higher time frames, guys, we have to be at least aware of these supports down below. And as you guys know, we've been looking at the VPVR very recently, saying, hey, we have this big old volume gap down here where there is not much support holding us up. We have a little high volume node closer to about $53,000. There's also a naked point of control down there as well. We can take a look at that in just a minute. But for the most part, guys, most of our volume is up here and down here. And to be quite honest with you, really, that 51 to 52K level is not even necessarily the most strong level that we have. To be quite honest, more of the volume here, the next significant high volume node is actually coming down here in the 40s. So, and I know there are some potential fundamental events that are coming up that could potentially push the price down. As you guys know, the Mount Gox repayments might be starting soon. I don't know the exact details on that. I'm sure somebody in the chat knows. So if you want to drop some sauce in there of your own, if somebody could look that up. But, you know, I don't really pay that much attention to the news, as we usually see the signals on where price is going to go on the charts before the news even comes out. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. Now, again, I kind of just want to check in on these higher time frames because, guys, obviously, we look for that retracement not only into the value area low, but we also had this local golden pocket 786 retracement, and you guys can see we actually did come right up into that golden pocket, and that is not only are we rejecting the value area low, but we're also rejecting that golden pocket. And when we're looking at money flow coming out on higher time frames, and we're looking for lower highs to come in before a continuation to the downside, and remember, if you're new here, just understand when you see this money flow crossover into the red, this typically indicates the longer-term trend will likely continue in the direction that the money flow is going, right? And we kind of go back to the last 2-day money flow crossover into the green, which happened not that long ago. If my mouse, like, you can't make it up, guys. You can't make it up. Okay, there we go. Shout out to this PC. Anyway, but as you see here, right, 2-day money flow crossover into the green, you get that trend to the upside. And, you know, again, you have those red dots, those green dots, but they typically indicate the ebbs and the flows in the market, right? The little pushes up, the little pushes down. But the money flow indicates that the trend is likely to continue up. And now we are simply just seeing the opposite of that happen. So we have to at least anticipate the possibility of seeing that continuation to the downside. So I'm not necessarily calling like, oh my God, 51 to 52K is incoming. But you bet your bottom dollar, guys, if we do not hold this lower support down here at 56.5, things could get pretty exciting, and I don't mean in the bullish manner. I mean more for that big dump to the downside. And the fact that we have come up to put that lower high in potentially here at the value area low, 786, and if I pull up the actual live stream chart, you guys can see these are the levels that we've had on the chart since we got the drop to the downside. As soon as we broke this support, we pulled this up as the resistance. We put that purple box there, and typically we look for shorts at the purple boxes and longs at the blue boxes, and as you can see, that lower high did come in right on that level. So this is kind of not what you want to see if you are a Bitcoin bull, but it is not necessarily over just yet. And I'm going to get into that one scenario that we would need to see in order to see Bitcoin flip bullish. But let me come on back over to the clean chart because I think this is a little bit easier for people to digest. And I just want everyone to understand the fact that we came up and put a lower high in here is not, and especially if we get a bigger drop to the downside, is not that surprising, right? This is basically, and that's if this happens, right? We're not guaranteed going to see this. But if we do see that, we're going to look back in hindsight and be like, well, I mean, hey, like, money flow was crossing over into the red on the 2-day. We came up, we put the lower high in. Makes a lot of sense, right? And we also did get that 12-hour blood diamond to kind of add that little chef's kiss before we started rejecting there. Shout out to the premium Discord. We actually took this short live. Let me pull up the lower time frames. We actually took this short live locally as we came back up to retest that value area low. Now, I was originally short technically on Ethereum, but it was basically the same setup from the top of the range here. Bitcoin at about $72,000. On Ethereum, it was closer to about $3,800. But we did give that short setup in the premium Discord, and that has played out all the way to the value area low. And then we got this bigger drop down, and I did wind up closing up that Ethereum short in full. And then when we got that retracement back into resistance, we had another short setup as we tested this resistance. We talked about this yesterday, so I won't cover it very much, but I will just say this has now played out in in full as we got our drop to the value area high. And then shout out to the volume profiles, guys. We simply see the volume profiles play out once again. You get stuck under that value area high. Once you can't get back above, you look for the drop to the POC and eventually the value area low. And now we are actually doing some interesting stuff below this local value area low. And I want to break that down right now. But before we jump into that, I want to talk about kind of what we need to see Bitcoin do in order for me to kind of flip bullish, right? So let's pull up the clean chart here. And very simply put, guys, this is why I like using the volume profiles. It simplifies the chart so much. It's very, very nice, right? So if we do wind up getting another push to the upside here, and I'll talk about, we are kind of seeing some stuff down there that might indicate that we could get a bounce. Shout out to the premium Discord. Anybody that's in there, literally just dropped that information in the chart or in the Discord. And we saw there were some, I will talk about it right now. There were some specific confirmations here for a little bounce. But this is what we're looking for, guys. We must, to be honest, right? We sit in simple terms. We got to get back above this value area low. Right now, this value area low is coming in at about, call it $63,000. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. If we pull this Fibonacci retracement that we did wind up rejecting, right, once we tap that golden pocket, I'll be honest, there's kind of a lot of work to do up here, right? Not only do we have the golden pocket right above that value area low, but we also, excuse me, let me turn this purple for shorts. We also have this 786 sitting just above that, sitting at $65,300. So, to be quite honest, in order for me, and to be, honestly, this is a local golden pocket, right? So, this isn't even really that. We have a lot of work to do, to be quite honest. We really got to get above this 786, in my opinion, to really be like, hey, maybe this downtrend is going to change. This 786 is coming in at 68.8. Now, I know that is pretty far away, so that's why I'm looking at the more local levels. Locally, if we do wind up getting a move back up to this value area low, we have to at least flip this golden pocket and 786 Fibonacci retracement in order to make it to the POC. But really, I would like to see a move above this $64,000 level in order to see an acceptance into this range and at least a move to this point of control. Where, yes, still, if we come up to that POC, guys, we have to be careful. I don't want to sound like the Bitcoin bear because I'm definitely not, right? But this is just simply based off the charts. Now, long-term, guys, I am bullish on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin over time is going to go up and to the right for the most part, other than, obviously, this is the long-term, right? So if you zoom out, right, up and to the right, but there are massive drops in here for the bear markets, right? So with that being said, I am bullish on Bitcoin. Obviously, this is a pretty strong uptrend, and we kind of laugh because everybody freaks out about these drops to the downside. I'm not freaking out, right? We say this all the time. My average buy price for Bitcoin is between 20 and 21K. So, this drop to the downside really isn't that big of a deal to me. However, we could be in danger of that bigger drop down to 51 to 52K or into the 40s down to this area of consolidation down here. But we'll get to that bridge if we have to cross it, right? But overall, I am bullish on Bitcoin in general as an asset, and even long term. But we may be, if that money flow continues into the red, guys, we may be in for quite a ride here. And I always like to say, I like to think to myself, right? What would wreck the most people, right? The market likes to wreck the most people possible, right? So, in my opinion, I think a big drop to the downside, especially the fact that we have seen so many people freak out over this drop to the downside, which has only been about a 18% drop, right? Or 20% drop almost, we'll just call it, rounded up to 20%. The amount of people freaking out, the only reason somebody would be absolutely panicking up on this drop to the downside is if they bought the top, right? And what does retail typically do? Retail typically buys the top and sells the bottom, right? So kind of what, in my thought, right, if the bearish case does play out, it would make a lot of sense to wreck all the retail, even if we come up for a lackluster pump. And again, once we get to that POC, we'll explain. I mean, the golden pocket is probably going to explain it, but we do have to be careful around this POC. If we get the bigger retracement up and we get accepted back into the range, this POC is going to be key resistance because not only is the POC the range, and we know that oftentimes when you break out of a volume profile, sometimes you do like to go back up here, test that POC before the bigger drop down. So, I mean, we've seen this happen many, many times. Even if we come on over here to the top of the 2021 bull market, I think it was this range right here, wound up doing the same exact thing, right? You bing bong around in this range, you lose it, and then you come up, test that POC one more time before the bigger drop down. And we see this happen time and time and time again. Even if you just back test it on random price action, it doesn't have to be like a macro top. Like even here, you kind of tested the value area high, but you lose the range, come come back up for one last test. Absolute drop to the downside. Let me see if I can find one more situation here. And obviously, it's not going to be 100%. Come down to a little bit of a lower time frame. But this is just something that we commonly see happen, right? You come back up, you test the POC, the range, before the bigger drop to the downside. Maybe. Sometimes it's kind of dramatic. This is probably a value area low retest. But, you know, I'm not going to spend all the time looking for every example, but oftentimes we do see that, and when you have the golden pocket from this full move, right, from the high all the way to the swing low, that golden pocket is in perfect confluence with the POC, and again, you know, another thing that we can look at for a lower high to come in, right, where is the next likely, or not next likely place, but where is, if we get a retracement, a big retracement up here, where is the most likely place for price to put in a lower high and continue to the downside? Well, the golden pocket, 786 retracement, right? So even if we come up in here, I am still, we talked about this yesterday. Once we get up to this level, we have to assess the price action, look at the signals, what is money flow doing as we approach these prices, and then depending on what the analysis says at that time, we can decide if it's a likelihood of putting in a lower high to continue that bigger trend to the downside, potentially targeting lower prices. But that's if we get the bigger retracement. So really what we need to do in order to see the bullish case play out, guys, is we got to get the move up, get accepted back into this range. But even then, we are going to be very cautious around this golden pocket in 786. And then once we flip the 786, you could say, hey, it's probably going to be more likely that the downtrend won't continue. However, at that point, you're so close to your value area high, which is typically where we look for shorts anyway, you know, you do have key resistance right above you. So there is a lot of work to be done, especially if you're looking for Bitcoin to make like all-time highs again. There is a lot of work to be done here. So we need to get back in that range. But, you know, this is probably going to take a long time, right? Especially if we come down first. Who knows if we wind up getting a drop down to 51K first, which we don't. I want to be clear. Although we make a lot of good calls on this channel, especially like in the Discord. I mean, even on the live stream and using TA, we can make really good calls and we get it right like way more often than we get it wrong. However, at the end of the day, guys, I think it is important to remember nobody, and I mean nobody, knows where this thing is going, right? The market surprises everybody at some point, right? You know, oftentimes we can guess correctly, but if we do get that drop to the downside first, I mean, who knows when the next time we're going to come up in here and test these levels are. So that's what we have to do, right? In the long term, get above that value area low, which would be bullish, in my opinion, short term, right? Because we're coming right back into key resistance. Flip to 786, still key resistance above. But again, as we approach these levels, like we don't know what's going to happen, right? If we get above this value area low, maybe we see high time frame money flow flipping back to the upside, in which case we can look for the full fill of the range. But there's no way to tell that until we get the information on the chart. So with that being said, I want to analyze this local price action down here really quickly with you guys before we move on to some altcoins. And here we are, right? So as you guys know, let me see if I can pull up that range right about here. So as you guys know, this is the range that we have been looking at. Let me go ahead and pull it fresh. Bada boom, bada bing. Did move slightly here. Let me just adjust that so it's nice and clean. Bada boom. Bada bing. Okay, so this is our local range, right? And now, obviously, we're looking at it in terms of a volume profile. And again, we did have some signals down here for this potential bounce to the upside. But this is the local range that we were talking about yesterday, where we took that short all the way. That wound up playing out overnight all the way to the value area low. And this is how we trade in the CandleMafia using the volume profiles. Absolutely insane profitability on this strategy, guys. If I just pull up some of the recent trades that we took, like here it is, right? Long from the bottom of the volume profile all the way up to the value area high, deviated above. The final target for this long was actually a local 786 that was up here. But we hit TP1, TP2, moved our stop losses. I actually got stopped out of this long today. And as you guys know, we've been talking a lot about the guaranteed winning trades, using our risk management and stop losses to guarantee winning trades when we don't know what's going to happen. So once we got that move to the upside, took profit, moved my stop loss to entry, and then as price came down here, I wound up getting stopped out in profit on the long, stacking some money on the account, and on the other side of the coin here, we were also making money on this short to the downside. And this does look, right, long from the bottom, short from the top, but we use the volume profiles to predict, just like looking at the chart being like, I feel bullish, long, I feel bearish, short, and there goes my mouse again, disconnecting from the computer. If anybody wants a PC, this one will be out by my garbage in about an hour. So shout out to you guys if you want to come by and get a free PC. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to give my address live on stream, but I'm not actually going to throw the computer away, obviously. But we're using the volume profiles to call these trades, and just to kind of show the likelihood of at least being on the right side of these trades using the volume profiles are very, very, very high. Not 100%, but very, very high. And those we're both trades in the premium Discord. But as we look here, guys, we deviated below this volume profile, and what are we seeing happen now? What we were looking for a little earlier today in the Discord was a bullish divergence, not necessarily on the 1 hour, but the 30-minute. Looking for those bullish confirmations below the range, as we can look at this as an oversold asset or an undervalued asset, and then above the range is considered an overvalued asset. In between the range is considered a fair value. So when you have an asset below a range, right, or below a volume profile specifically, and you're looking at that as a cheap asset, you can then say, hey, maybe I can look for longs down here and expect price to come into the fair value again, and then you can sell at a profit. But as we came down here, we did see some bullish confirmations as we put a bullish divergence in on the 30-minute. This is what I was looking for. It's actually more specifically looking for price. Come on. I was looking for price to come down and test this 786, which we did slightly slip, but we also got a swing failure pattern of this low right here. Now, this was actually the thing. We were waiting for price to move, and I was looking for a signal to potentially look for the bounce, and then we finally got that SFP here of this wick low on top of the bullish divergence. So you have the bullish divergence, the SFP, right, and we know this is actually, this was also the same signal that we got up here above the value area high for the potential short setup from the top. And then this is also the same exact confirmation that we gave not only in the premium Discord, but also, hang on, let me pull out my face cam here. I don't want to leak anything special in the premium. It would not be fair to the people who pay. But we also actually, I didn't realize this at the time. I brought this up yesterday. We actually did wind up sharing this, or Tony D did drop this in the dining room, which is our freemium section of the free Discord. You just have to sign up with one of our exchange affiliates to get access to this, and you get one premium TA post per week. And this actually was that short setup from the top at about $72,000 was put in on not only in the premium but also the dining room. But the reason I bring this up, guys, is because that signal was the same exact thing that we saw here at the lower prices, which was a bearish divergence with the confirmation of the SFP as well, right? So you get the swing failure pattern of this wick here and the bearish divergence as you have higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. We weren't looking at the 4 hour for this, but that was like part of you could just see how high of a hit rate when you have an SFP and a bearish divergence outside of a volume profile, how likely it is for these to bring you back into the range. And this is why we like this trading strategy, because it's so simple. Now, it's not that easy, right? Simple does not equal easy. Simple as ABC, right? Like, what else is simple? Working out and getting in shape, right? It is as simple as go to the gym every day and eat right and don't mess up, right? Simple, but very difficult to achieve. It's very similar with trading. Trading's simple. Buy low, sell high. But it is not that easy. It is simple, but not easy. But you guys can see by using the volume profiles, you get beautiful context into where price is. Is it overvalued? Is it undervalued? Etc. And you can not only use it on high time frames, but also the lower time frames. So if these confirmations here above the volume profile with the bearish divergence and the SFP brought us all the way down to the value area low, and right here, we got a bearish divergence with an SFP, and it brought us down to the value area low. Maybe, now I'll be honest, I have a little bit less hope for this to play out this time just because of the way the market looks right now. But if you wind up, we have the bullish divergence, not on the 4 hour, but the 30-minute, right? 30-minute bull div with the SFP, and we are now potentially looking to reclaim that value area low. So if we can hold this value area low, we could potentially anticipate a move to the POC and then where? Shout out to Creighton C. And there's Dave Digital in the chat. What is going on, brother? I don't know how long you've been here. I haven't looked at chat in a minute, but we were waiting for you, bro. We were waiting for you, and now we can finally start the show. I wasn't sharing too much sauce without you, Dave. Don't worry. But let's see. Shout out to Wick's wife, 589, said, I've got Frankie on here. Wick has Frankie on in there. Frankie everywhere. Hey. Shout out to Wick 589. I'm calling you from across the house, I assume. Can you please come in and hang out with Wick's wife 589? But let's continue on here real quick, guys. I will come back into the chat. Yo, shout out to Alex, and let's disturb Frankie by putting a lot in chat. Shout out to Alex. I think it worked, bro. I think it did work. But as you guys, and there you go. Shout out to Elite Ways EZ. Shout out to Pennywise, dropping the value area high in the chat. So if we do wind up seeing a continued hold of support on this value area low, guys, we could potentially anticipate that value area, POC and value area high to get hit. There are some things assisting us here as well. We also have a 4-hour green dot potentially looking to print here, right? Potentially looking to print here. And I don't know necessarily if we're going to wind up getting that, right? Like I said, things are looking a little bit more bearish right now. We also have a fresh daily red dot printing and the fresh 2-day red dot as well. These are longer-term bearish signals. So if you are looking for longs, this is not a long signal. In the Discord, we were talking about entries like closer to the lower part of this candle for a higher probability trade, because at this point, if you enter down here, you're in profit, so you could like move your stop loss up to break even and protect yourself. Excuse me, but if you were looking to see a pop to the upside here, I would just be careful. Remember, you have the daily red dot, the 2-day red dot, but I would be managing the risk on that trade very, very tightly. So I would probably be looking at this golden pocket 786, which is in confluence with the POC, as potential areas to lock in profit and protect myself. And then if you pull the full golden pocket retracement, you can see the golden pocket here of this entire move to the downside is confluent with the value area high. So if we do get that bounce to the upside here, we could potentially look for, basically the volume profile levels, right? When you're trading the volume profile, typically you want to be looking at it like this. Let me see, pull up a new position here, bada boom, right? So let's say you're long from the value area low. For me, right, and I've just made a tutorial video about this. If you guys haven't checked it out, go watch that video. I'm sure Tony D or Rob the Crypto Stop can drop the link. It's also going to be the video that you have to like and comment on in order to win the giveaways this week. However, typically when I'm trading a volume profile, I look for price to go to the POC and the value area high. So the POC is naturally TP1, value area high, typically TP2. However, obviously, every context of every trade is different, so it does vary. But, just in basic bare bones form, you're going to be looking for these areas for take profits. And there's golden pocket confluence not only on the value area high, but local golden pocket or 786 confluence on the POC. And then if you want to be a little more conservative, you have the golden pocket down there as well. Again, this is not a trade signal, right? I'm not telling you too long Bitcoin. I'm just saying, we were looking at an entry down here. I didn't take the entry. I just got busy. I was getting ready for the stream. Didn't take it. But not a trade signal. I want to be very clear, right? Like, there's no guarantee it goes up, and this is not financial advice. This is a lot of things, guys. Maybe entertainment, maybe chaos, maybe a little bit of scream talking, maybe a little bit of hand sniffing. Man, I miss Mrs. Candles. Come on. Okay, anyway, guys, don't worry about that. If you're new to the channel, just ignore that happened. Shout out to Tony D. Said, can we hit 400 likes by 6:30? Frank will show calf. Shout out to Tony D. Just auctioning off my body here. Shout out to Tony D. Telling me to show calf. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I promise I won't mess up again. He hit me last time. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on, guys. Don't be silly. Dave is an Aquarius. Shout out to Jack of Clubs. Let's see. Shout out to Bragmore says, Frankie Candles, can you explain why we should use the bigger volume profile indicator on TradingView compared to the volume profile tool? When do you use them both? Oh, shout out to Bragmore. I think what you're saying is, are you talking about the visible range and the fixed range, right? You're talking about this as the fixed range, as the volume profile tool. Yo, dropping the calf emojis in the chat. Oh God, we got Tony D. We got to give the crowd what they want, baby. We got to give the crowd what they want. But I think what you're talking about is the visible range, which is this tool here. Let's pull up that right here. That pulls up on the side of the chart as opposed to selecting a fixed range. I believe that is what you're talking about. Let me know. I'll answer that question if that's your question. Just drop a chat there, and I'll be happy to answer for you. And by the way, guys, drop some altcoins into. Oh, shout out to Golden. Let's go, Golden. Dropping those memberships in the chat. Let's get it. Unbelievable. Golden is back with the memberships, guys. Drop those golden emojis or calf emojis, but drop golden emojis for Golden if you just got a membership. I don't even know if we have enough people in here with gray names to give them the memberships. But shout out to Golden. Let's go. Alex, terminate putting golden and then a shower head. I don't know why he's doing that, but I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, start that golden waterfall. And Bragmore, I'm going to pause chat here to see if Bragmore answered me so I can answer his question. Let's see. But yeah, yeah, dang it. Sorry, Bragmore, that golden waterfall kind of messed up the chat if you sent it. But I will just say, hey, Frankie, what's up, CandleMafia? Shout out to Ant Art. What is going on? Good to see you in here. Oh, there we go. Bragmore, thank you. He said, yeah, that's what I mean. Correct. Shout out to Bragmore. So very simply put, when I use the visible range or the fixed range is kind of going to be, it's going to be somewhat subjective, right? So for me, if I'm looking for like grander key levels, right? If I'm looking at like say the weekly time frame or even the daily time frame, if I'm looking to see like basically the difference between the tools is the visible range volume profile, right? They are the same exact tool, right? But they just show you, they are literally the exact same tool. So I'll try to explain it, right? The visible range volume profile shows you the volume transacted at each individual price, and it shows you the volume of only the candles showing on your chart, right? So starting over here, all the way over here. You can see if I zoom in, we're now only going to calculate these candles here, and you can see the volume actually changes, right? Because now it's only showing you the candles here, and it's negating all those other candles we were just looking at. So that's the visible range volume profile. And the fixed range volume profile basically just lets you select a certain area of price action, right? So if I wanted to select this little range here, I could select that little area, right? So that is the difference between the tools. Whether at what point you use both of these is going to be individual to each trader. But for me personally, I'm using the fixed range most of the time. It's not because the visible range doesn't work well or anything like that. Like I said, they are the same exact tool, but the fixed range, right, is only going to show you the volume transacted at each price within the selected range, right? So I'm only looking at these candles. These candles are negated. These candles are negated. Only what is selected, where this visible range is calculating all the candles visible on the chart. So hopefully that makes sense. But typically when I'm looking for my volume profile ranges, that's when I'm using my my fixed range volume profile. And then really when I use the visible range is when I want to see like big volume gaps on higher time frames, right? So if I pull up Bitcoin on the Bitstamp chart, like I said, that 51 to 52K zone that we have down here, you can see there's a massive volume gap underneath. We have a little high volume node right at these lows, right? And then you have another tiny little high volume node closer to 54, 53. But then, that next major level is down here at 51 to 52. But this is where I would use the visible range, looking at the higher time frames for those big volume gaps and high volume areas, because these are going to be key levels of support and resistance. So hopefully that helps you out, brother. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Inspector Chris, said fixed range volume profiles was such a game changer in my trading. Shout out to you, brother. I don't want to say we popularized the volume profile here, but I'm just going to say I see a lot of people out there using the volume profile. Thank God. I'm happy if they are inspired by me because it's going to improve a lot of the TA. But, yeah, I do see a lot of people using volume profiles where when I wasn't very vocal about them, I didn't really see anybody talking about them. I actually found out about volume profiles a while back from, I don't even know who it was. It was some stock trader brought it up, and I was like, oh, what's that? And then wound up learning more about it. But now it's obviously a main part of our trading strategy, and it looks like it's becoming more and more popular. And if you guys are looking for a free, souped-up fixed-range volume profile with added gizmos and gadgets, we do have our free indicator by Lux Algo, guys. You just search my name in TradingView, Frankie Candles, and you can see Frankie Candles Essentials by Lux Algo. This is 100% free, no strings attached, no email, no nothing. Just search it, click it. I wanted to give this with Lux Algo. We wanted to give this to you guys for free to give you guys some really, really nice trading tools. It encompasses my whole trading style in one indicator. There's automatic Fibonacci levels, automatic divergence detection, and you even get the sauce can reversal signals, which are super saucy, no pun intended. But go ahead and check that out. Also, by the way, shout out to Lux Algo, one of our channel sponsors. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. And if you want to check out any of their premium indicators, which are also absolutely fire, you can check the link in the description down below. Let me get through, drop those altcoins in the chat, guys. We're going to start getting into the alts. Let me go ahead and cover some of these super chats. Shout out to Golden. Said, I'm currently multitasking, and I swear I just heard Frankie say, I pulled your mom's fib and tapped that golden pocket. Golden, behave yourself. Shout out to Golden. He said, I need sleep today. Shout out to you, bro. I didn't say that for the record, guys. Shout out to Tony D. We read that. B. Frank Crypto says, Frankie, can you check Total 3 on the daily and the monthly? Yes, we can take a look at Total 3 before we look at the alts. Shout out to you, brother. I definitely will do that for you. Shout out to Anna Maria said, let's start the party and smash that like button, guys. If we get 550 likes on tonight's live stream, I will give away. I'll add some extra stuff to the giveaway on Friday. I don't know what it is. Maybe we'll let the Mafia pick. And then let's see. What else we got? And then Mark Dutch, thank you for the super chat, says, Golden, could you just do 5 memberships per shower instead of 50? You're ruining the chat. Thanks in advance. Still love you. Yo, shout out to Mark Dutch. And shout out to Golden for gifting so many dang memberships. 100 memberships already on today's stream. Golden, I don't know what we did to deserve you, but we are sure glad that we have you. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. And let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Bragmar, said, thanks, bro. Follow-up question around the fixed compared to the visual volume profile. Yeah, Bragmar, go ahead. Ask away. Definitely try to answer you. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, guys. I want to take a quick look at Total 3 before we take a look at Ethereum, and then we'll jump into the altcoins, as I know Rob, the crypto snob, has to count them up and let us know what we're looking at. Bragmar says, isn't it always better to see the larger time frame? What does the fixed range actually give us on the smaller time frames? Is it relevant to look at? Yeah, shout out to Bragmore. I'm not going to have time to go over the entire thing right now. We have tutorials on the channel going deeper into explaining the volume profiles, when to use certain tools, and like what situations we use them for. And if you tune into the live streams, I don't recognize your name. I don't know if you tune in often, but if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed, bro, because we talk about this every single day at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this live stream. You will quickly pick it up. But usually the fixed range volume profiles is what I use to get local context for day trades and scalp positions, right? And even on the higher time frames, honestly, like this range is a little over a 3-month range. And this fixed range helped us find the short from the top as well as the long from the bottom. We took the long from the bottom up to the value area high, and then the short from here all the way to the value area low. And we do this constantly. We've even done this on a more grander perspective on a lot of different coins using these huge ranges from the previous bull run to anticipate this massive explosion to the upside of 138% on Bitcoin. And we were able to predict that using the volume profiles. Check out the videos on the channel and tune into these live streams, bro, and you will get everything. Hopefully that little explainer helps you out. He said, pretty new, but tuning in every day, every now and then. Appreciate the lives, and your help on the streams are amazing. Shout out to Bragmore. I appreciate you for being here, bro. And yeah, like I said, check out the channel. It's basically a free trading course. So check that out. And shout out to Golden for another 50 memberships. Golden, you are a menace, my friend. Shout out to you, brother. Drop those golden emojis and make sure you have those those membership gifting options selected in YouTube so you don't miss out on those free memberships. Shout out to Golden, bro. You are unbelievable. 150 memberships. Incredible. And shout out, who gifted, someone else gifted one as well. Who was it? Somebody, shout out to Crypto Viking and Seth Shepard. Shout out to you guys for getting the memberships as well. I appreciate you guys. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at Total 3, guys. Take a quick look at the altcoin market. Actually, come over to the live stream chart because that is our chart that we have marked up. Total 3. Is anybody doing anything fun for 4th of July tomorrow? Total 4. Total 4th of July. Okay. Let's see. Look at the golden emojis. Golden, they love you, bro. They love you, man. Golden keeps throwing Bitcoins in my Speedo. I prefer dollars. They don't fall out. The Bitcoins are kind of hard to keep in there. Anyway, not saying I've ever had Bitcoins in my Speedo, but whatever. That's for another day. But here we are, guys. Can't make it up, right? Can't make it up. As you guys know, as we were getting a move down here recently, we were looking for a very specific signal to find at least somewhat of a bottom on Total 3. And what we were looking at, guys, was a 4-hour bullish divergence into our key level, which was that golden pocket retracement. And we did wind up getting that. And we did actually wind up getting some bounces on some altcoins. You guys know we had a big bounce on Solana. We had a bunch of coins that were getting some pretty heavy bounces. But we are now getting that one last retracement. Oh, guys, my mom is calling me. Guys, I can't ignore this. I will not ignore a phone call from my mom. I'm sorry. Hello, Mama Candles. I'm live on TV right now. Hello, can I call you back? Yes, I'm on TV. Well, technically not TV, but kinda. The Candle Mafia says hi. They're dropping hearts in the chat. But I'll give you a call back when I hop off. All right, love you too. Bye. Shout out to my mom. Let's go. She's probably scared because Bitcoin's crashing. She's like, oh my God, my Coinbase is down. Like, don't worry, Mom. Take a deep breath. But anyway, here we go. Find yourself another YouTuber that tells Mom he loves him in front of 700 people. Anyway, let's see here. So we get that drop to the downside on total 3, guys. And we did have this level that we pulled up on last night's live stream. And this is just another local or more local golden pocket 786 retracement, and we are now coming into that level, bouncing off the golden pocket. We would really ideally like to hold this box, guys, if we see this continue down. Once we start breaking that 786, may not be a good sign for total 3 and the rest of the altcoin market, potentially, because let's see if we could pull up the, there we go. Let me hide these levels really quick. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, right? So if we do wind up losing that local 786 here, right, and just for anybody who's looking to have these same levels on your chart, this is pulled from this local low all the way to this high. And actually, I guess we could technically pull it up to the current high, which would be right there. It doesn't really change the level very much. But if we lose that 786, we could potentially anticipate a bigger drop down here, guys. And to be quite honest with you, we don't want to lose this golden pocket, right? Well, I'll be honest, actually. You actually do have pretty decent support down here. You have another high-volume node, but if you lose that golden pocket, you may be able to get a quick push down to about 552.5 billion down here to this next high-volume node. So I'll actually go ahead and mark that level right here, and actually mark it out as a little bit of a zone because it's likely not going to be a perfect little level there. So what I would do is kind of mark this out as a box. But this is if we lose that 786. Probably, unless we hold that golden pocket again, we may just wind up losing that golden pocket and then coming down to this next level. And to be quite honest with you guys, sure, you have the high volume node here. It's actually a decent bit of consolidation. But your 786 of this grander golden pocket that we were looking at, let me hide this level real quick. Before we came down and put this bull div on the golden pocket, the 786 of that fib pull is all the way down here at about 515 billion. So if we lose this golden pocket in this high volume node, this gap is likely to bring you down to that 786. We do not want to go there, but it is the next level to the downside. However, locally, we still have an opportunity, even if we come down a little bit more, to test that 786. We really would like to get a bounce here. If not, we may see the altcoins take a little bit more of a spill to the downside. So there we go. That is what I'd be looking at on total 3. Yeah, fresh daily, oh boy, fresh daily red dot here as well. Another thing we can look for in the longer term is if you do get a push back down into this golden pocket, hit the lower level of that golden pocket, could be putting in a bullish divergence in on the daily time frame. We're probably a bit away from seeing that happen, but if we do wind up seeing that happen, that would be something I would look for a strong bounce. But really, if you lose that 786, probably going to get another drop down. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on total 3. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, said pin my next comment. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you, bro. And you are now pinned up there. Shout out to all 608 of you guys watching right now. Don't forget to smash that like button. 550 likes gets, I don't know. It gets something for somebody in the Mafia. I don't know. We'll give away something cool. What should we give away? A used inhaler? I don't know what inhalers are, actually. Never mind. A signed $100 bill. Should we give away dirty fiat? I don't know what we should do, but if we get 550, I will add something. I will add something to the giveaway. But let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. I want to take a quick look at Ethereum before we get into the other alts. And let's go ahead and zoom in here, right? So on Ethereum, nothing really unexpected here, right? Like I said, I did have that Ethereum short, which is now closed in full from about $3,800. So it's basically from the 786 almost. Got accepted back into the range, back down to the POC. We clung to that POC and then got to drop down to the value area low. As expected, once again, this is the reliability of the volume profiles, especially when you're using them to trade, right? So shout out to Bragmore if you're still in here for the fixed range here. This is what I use to find my trades, right? It gives me this beautiful little range, and it gives me context into where I should be looking for shorts, aka on deviations above the high, and where I should be looking for longs, aka deviations below the low, right? And then if you're looking for longs down here, obviously you got to move up to the value area high, and if you look for shorts down here, you're looking for the value area low. Very, very high probability. However, obviously you need specific confirmations and other analysis to agree with your trades, right? You can't just short the high and long the low. You'll wind up losing money that way. But, we got that drop down here to the golden pocket, value area low, sitting down here closer to about 32.20. And this is our support level, right? We came down, we got the bounce for the retracement. Where did we retrace to? Right into our purple box, exactly where we were looking. Not to say that to brag or anything like that, but this is just what we would expect. We guessed it correctly, but just because that's how the market moves, you get a drop, a retracement into that POC, and then that was our key level of resistance. Where did we reject from? Right from that key level of resistance, and now we are back down closer to that golden pocket value area low. If we lose this value area low, I will be looking down towards the 786, coming in at about $3,100. That is the next key level on Ethereum. If we lose that 786, well, I'd probably just be looking down to this local volume profile here as context, right? So if we do come down, key level number 1, 786, if you lose the value area low, and then if you lose that 786, you're looking to this POC coming in at 3,000, and then the value area low coming in at 2938. So I would just kind of use that as my guide to where those next key levels are if we lose that value area low. But very simply put, this is looking very similar to Bitcoin as far as money flow, etc. Right? Money flow crossover into the red on the 2-day. Fresh red dot now also printing on Ethereum on the 2-day. 3-day, VWAP stuck below the zero line, money flow coming out. So almost looking identical to Bitcoin as far as market cipher goes. So I won't go too deeply into that. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for that super chat, bro. Said if we hit 420 likes tonight on stream, I'll drop another 50 LFG. Smash that like button, guys. 420 likes for another 50 memberships. Golden, you don't have to do this, bro. You don't have to do this. Shout out to you, though. We do appreciate you so much, man. Keeping the Mafia popping with those memberships. Let's get it. Shout out to Jay Gilly. Said, definitely not a cult. Anyone seen my Frankie Candles robe? Shh, Jay Gilly. You're not supposed to tell. I thought we were being on the low with the robes, guys. Don't tell anybody you have a CandleMafia robe, okay? Or the shrines in your room. Please, for the love of God. Mrs. Candles doesn't even know about my candle shrine. So, anyway, we'll keep it on the low, guys. Not a cult. We're definitely not a cult. I don't think we are. I got to Google cult later. I don't think we're a cult. Tell people we're not a cult, guys. Anyway, let's continue on here. One thing we are, though, we are traders that absolutely crush these markets. We'll just call it that. All right, let's see. Such a green lobby. Shout out to Patient Crypto. Let's go. And let's see. Yo, let's go. Shout out to Wick589 says Frankie Candles, the flamethrowers. No, no, we don't. Wick. Shh. Keep it low. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. You guys are funny, man. Give away some fire sauce. Shout out to Alex. Hey, maybe we will. Maybe we'll drop some special sauce. My mother will make that fire sauce, and we'll start wrapping it up and selling it. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Candle Cult Crew. Shout out to, oh, God. Shout out to CERN. Oh, God. Oh, what do we start here? Anyway, there was one time, guys, where we were accepting a new mod. I think it was Chemistry Bro, as a moderator into the channel. And we, dimmed the lights, and everybody was putting candles in the chat. And it was at that moment that I was like, oh, God, we might have started a cult. Anyway, this is like a cult without the manipulation. But anyway, let's see what we got going on. So that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum, guys. Let's go ahead and jump on into the alts here. What were we looking at yesterday? Was it near? We were looking at something yesterday. We were looking at a much lower price, and I was like, this seems unrealistic. Not unrealistic. I was like, it seems crazy to look down this low, but if we get a drop overnight, this may be the level we hit. I forget what it was, but I wonder if we hit those levels. But let's take a quick look at XRP, which is going to be our first altcoin. Now, obviously, as you guys know, XRP has not really been doing much here other than going sideways / kind of bleeding out. But if we take a look here at the daily time frame, you can see we are about to print another red dot. So I would probably lean neutral bearish on this, especially if that red dot does print in the next hour and 22 minutes. 2-day VWAP also coming down. I mean, it's looking very similar to Bitcoin. A lot of this stuff looks very similar to Bitcoin. So if we do get that red dot on the daily with the 2-day red dot as well, could see that continuation to the downside, in which case We would probably, let me pull up some other levels here real quick. What do we have here? I could probably start, oh God, this is, let me just unhide all of this real quick. Just pull, let me pull some new levels here. Let's get the naked points of controls up and running. Actually going to get rid of this volume profile as well. Just a quick little disclaimer, not disclaimer, but quick little reminder that in order for XRP to see a bigger move to the upside here, we are definitely going to need to crack this key level of resistance, right? We came up and tested this 150,000 times and could not break it, but we really want to crack this this previous value area low sitting at 66 cents, flip it to support, get a move to the POC, and then get a move back up to the value area high, getting closer to $1.29. You can see last time we popped above this, we went right to the POC and then got rejected. So that is still going to be the next key levels to the upside. Major key levels, right? For big moves, we got to get above that 67 cent level. But right, and then we have our local range here, which we'll look at in a second. But actually, we'll pull that right now. Let me pull this, and then I'll pull up the naked points of controls as well. Bada boom. We'll take a look at the weekly. No naked points of control. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the 6th day. Okay, so we do have one weekly naked over here sitting at 37 cents. Not necessarily expecting that to come in, but it is worth having on the chart in case we do get a drop down. We have another weekly naked point of control right on that range POC. Not the best look. And then you have another one up at the value area high. Let's check out the monthlies. No monthlies. Actually, you do have a monthly here. I'm actually going to relabel this weekly plus monthly. Bada boom. And then I have a monthly right here. So these are obviously pretty low, but you want to have them on the chart just in case we do get a big drop to the downside. But in general here, let me mark out this volume profile. This is really the range that we are playing with right now. So zoom in a bit here, and I'll mark out the value area high, the POC, bada boom, and the value area low, bada boom. So as we approach this value area low, and actually let me pull this Fibonacci retracement as well. Come on. Bada boom, from the low to the high here. Yeah, so you do have this macro. Yeah, we've already tapped this 786 a whole bunch of times. So, yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. These are the levels I would be looking at, right? Very key resistance with the weekly naked point of control POC. If you come back up to that, I would be looking at that as resistance. And then you also have the value area high weekly naked point of control. Shout out to Bullish Bradley dropping those golden emojis. Let's go. But that is, these are the key levels I'd be looking at. And again, very similar to everything else. Money flow coming out on the monthly. That's pretty gross looking. Let's see. Weekly, VWAP coming up. Money flow in the red. Yeah, we really got to start seeing things turn around here, guys. And here's the thing, right? Most people are wrong most of the time, right? Like, so when you start hearing everybody talk about a big move up, right? Typically, what we get is the opposite, right? And right now, I do hear a lot of people talking about, like, a lot of people are mad at the bears, right? People are like, why are people calling for lower? And again, I kind of consider myself neutral. I'm a trader, right? So I really just react to what we see on the chart. You're never going to see me come up here and be like, you have to buy this coin because it's going up, right? If the chart doesn't say that, you won't ever hear that come out of my mouth, right? If it looks bullish, I'll say, hey, it's bullish. But I'll even follow it up with, like, it's not guaranteed, guys. Like, TA is not 100%. But, I do hear a lot of people saying, like, oh, everyone, everyone thinks it's going down, it's going to go up. I generally think that more people are hopeful. Everyone wants it to go up, which just makes me think that the market just might screw everybody over and drop it to the downside. But if we do get that, this weekly and monthly naked point of control coming in at 37 cents, almost even, like almost to the dollar here, to the cent, I should say, on XRP is going to be a major, major key level of support. And then if you don't get that full drop to the downside, you do have confluence here on your value area low, 786. But once you lose that 786, you may start to get a bigger move to the downside because, again, if you pull up that VPVR, yeah, your next support level is definitely going to be down in this area. you have all this consolidation down here giving you structural support. So there you go, right? But you got to lose these levels before you look for that bigger move down. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on XRP. All right, let's see. Yeah, shout out to Simano says, for many people that just came in, click the like and have 99% chance to get a green. Yeah, shout out to you, bro. Definitely, probably legitimately a 99% chance. Shout out to Astro Zombie, bro. I hope you're doing good. Welcome in. Ryan in the chat. What is going on? Let's see. Frank, doesn't this remind you of last summer when BTC hit 25K again? I mean, I will say, guys, even as a content creator, more often than not, when I call for lower prices, and again, I'm not necessarily calling for a big dump, but we are looking at the charts saying the signals could be showing there, right? But yeah, last summer, when we dropped back down to 25K, a lot of people, right, once you start getting these green candles, it's just up and to the right forever. You can't go down anymore. And the second someone sees the second the new people see the red candles, they're like, oh my God, it's all over, right? But at this point, I remember this. I remember where I was when this broke down. I was out bowling for one of my friend's birthdays. And I remember being kind of nervous, not nervous, but kind of like, man, like I hope I'm not like the only guy who's bearish and I'm going to be completely wrong. And I actually remember where I was standing when I pulled up my phone and I was like, oh yeah, thank God it dumped. Thank God it dumped. TA is magic. And we did get that big drop to the downside. And then this is, guys, if you want to trade these markets, this is what gets very, very difficult. Just because you look for a drop down here does not necessarily mean that you have to look for the end of the bull market, right? Because at this point, you look for the drop down, and this is where a lot of people say, like, I don't get it. You're bullish, and then you're bearish, which is absolutely fact, right? This is definitely how we feel. We are bullish when it looks like it's going up, and then the second we see signs of weakness, we are going to be bearish because we make money whether the price goes up or down. We long and we short. So, you know, just because we look for a big drop down here, new people will think like, oh, I should never buy because it's going down. It's bearish. Bitcoin's going to go down. Don't buy it. But what we do is we wait for the drop down into a key level, and then we look for long positions or maybe even a spot buy the dip scenario to get that next leg to the upside, at least in the specific scenario of where we were in the cycle at this time. But a lot of people thought, oh, God, you know, we broke 30K. 30K is the new bottom. I don't know why people think that. Everyone thought that too. Especially on YouTube, a lot of people, as soon as we drop down here into like down to these lows, everybody thought that 30K, around 30K was the new bottom, right? And they were like, that's it, super cycle, 100K incoming. But that's not what we saw. That's not what the charts were saying, right? That's just people who are looking at a chart and they're just like, oh, this looks like it's a new bottom. But that's not what the charts were saying at all. The charts were very bearish here, right? Everyone was calling for 100K, and all we could see, right? This was before I actually had my channel, but all I could see at this point was a huge monthly bearish divergence with money flow coming out, a huge weekly bearish divergence with money flow coming out, and even on this retracement to the upside, we wound up printing that weekly blood diamond, which has never happened before. And I said this the other day. I called for this I did have my channel at this point. I didn't have it up here. Had it over here. This is like one of the big calls that I made. Like, guys, this could be bearish. And with the way the cycle's looking, this could be that 69 was the top, and this is going to be the big drop into the bear market. And I got flamed. I got absolutely roasted. This is like the first time I ever got roasted online. And like this is like as a YouTube newbie. And I was like, oh man, people are mean, man. What the heck? I'm just trying to help you guys. And then what happened, right? We got the drop to the downside. Now, granted, we could have gone to 100K, but that's not what the charts were saying, right? I don't know why everyone was looking for 100K here. Same thing with this, right? Like when we came down, we were looking at this weekly bullish divergence, right? This is a pretty strong bottom signal. When you get a weekly bull div like this, that typically gives you a big move. Just like the weekly bear div was the top of the market, the weekly bull div was the bottom of the market. But everybody was just looking for 10K to come in here. Now, we had a plan. If price were to get another drop down, we had our levels of support down here, and an if this, then that scenario. But once we saw this bullish divergence on the, once we had that bullish divergence on the weekly, it was a very strong chance that we were going to get at least some kind of significant rally in the market, even if we were going to come back down. But everyone was just calling for lower. And it's just crazy. Like, I just wonder, like, if you're not looking at charts, what are you using to find the numbers? I don't understand how that works. That's why I gravitate towards the charts so much. That's why I chose to be a trader rather than like some kind of fundamental analyst. But yeah, I don't know. The charts, like I am lost without charts. Like if I had to trade news or fundamentals or just like randomly pick projects, that's like feeling around in the dark in my opinion. At least I would feel completely lost. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys, and take a look at Ondo. Let's jump onto Ondo. Whoops. Let's pull out KuCoin. Here we go. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, nice little, look at that, like just marching. Looks like it's dancing. This is like nice and even, nice and clean. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on. Okay, so bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so you rejected that golden pocket like, oh my God, to the dollar. But yeah, I'm just trying to get my bearings here. Shout out to Golden. Unbelievable, this guy. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. Gifted those Frankie Candles memberships once again. Unbelievable. Oh my God. I have to lock my chair. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for gifting those memberships, guys. Drop those golden emojis if you just got a membership. Let's go. Golden literally has 11 different accounts, so he doesn't get banned by YouTube for giving away so much memberships. Unbelievable, bro. Shout out to Golden. He's just like sitting in his 75-person home theater, just like gifting memberships on the projector. Unbelievable. Shout out to Golden. But shout out to Warren McCarthy. Says, definition of a cult is a relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. That's us, but good. Yeah, but yeah, not evil, but good. Yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to Warren. But I feel like we probably should say not a cult. Hashtag welcome to the CandleMafia. Hashtag not a cult. That's our tagline. Hashtag not a cult is the last part. Shout out to you guys. But drop those golden emojis if you just got one. That's 1K in memberships. I wish Golden 1, 2, or 3 was my uncle, stepdad, or best friend. Shout out to Elite Ways Easy. Yeah, unbelievable. Golden is literally, if not one of the most generous people I've ever met in my life. Absolutely giving back to the Mafia and the YouTube channel in turn. So thank you, Golden. We appreciate you just as much as the Mafia does. Golden says, thank you for the super chat. I said that. Golden said, Frankie, this is a fact. I am watching you on a projector on the screen right now. LMFAO. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, Golden is like, yeah, I picture you in like a Star Wars themed like mega home theater, Golden. Or are you still in Croatia in that 10-bedroom mansion? I don't know. Shout out to Golden, the absolute GOAT. Let's go. Okay, let's continue on here. Drop those golden emojis for our boy in the chat. And let's go ahead and see what we got going on Ondo. So let me actually go ahead and I'm going to delete these levels, and I'm going to actually redraw some of them. I'm going to actually pull this volume profile. Actually, I'm going to pull a fresh volume profile here. Okay, so this is not necessarily like the most bullish outlook, in my opinion. Let me load this up real quick. So yeah, here's your local volume profile. We are losing the low here. Here's the thing, guys. Bullish divergence below the low, bounce back into the range, flip it to the value area low to support, right up to the POC, right up to the value area high, vice versa, up to the high, reject, back down to the POC and the value area low, and then you're deviated below the low again here. You don't have as strong bullish divergences down here. However, you have a slight 4-hour bullish divergence looking to form. So I will say this. Locally, if you do wind up, look at the golden emojis in the chat. This is insane. But if we do, let me just mark out the value area high, etc. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. So if we do continue to bounce here, this is kind of similar to Bitcoin, to be honest. We're just kind of sitting below the volume profile. And if we do wind up confirming this somewhat shady bullish divergence on the 4-hour, right? You have a slightly lower low on the bodies of your candles. And I don't know, maybe that's not even a bull div. Maybe an exaggerated bull div with equal lows. But if you are able to get a bounce here, yeah, no SFP or anything like that. If you are able to get a little bounce here, bada boom, get above that value area low, that's what you would need to get a bigger move to the upside. However, I would be careful around this POC golden pocket in case you do wind up. Yeah, fresh daily red dot. I don't know. I would probably be looking at this value area low at $1.13 as key resistance. If you get a move back into the volume profile, I'd be paying much attention to the $1.2786 POC and the $1.17 golden pocket right here, right? So key level number 1 is the value area low. Once you get above that, you could potentially move up to the golden pocket POC. But with the daily red dot, look at all these green dots down here. It's crazy. But once you get up to this level here, if that money flow and that daily red dot have not already, it's kind of hard to say, to be quite honest with you. You have a lot of work to get up to here, to be honest. But if you do get that move up, I don't know how likely it is with that daily red dot to be. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of hard to read, to be honest with you. I would just look at this as a volume profile, but with that daily red dot, you might pull something like this potentially. But we'll have to see. Kind of hard to call on Ondo, to be quite honest. All right, let's see. Golden 3 is still great. Click the like, and you have a chance. Shout out to Simano. Let's see. We got Harry Potter in the chat. Shout out to you, brother. That was a horrible accent. I'm not gonna lie. You're a wizard, Harry. Anyway, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Seth. Seth says Ondo is going to be a winner. Don't be fooled by the haters. Shout out to Ondo. Yeah, I mean, I think Ondo can do well long term. For sure. Actually, it's actually one of the. I was actually talking to people recently. Ondo's one coin that I wish I owned more of. To be quite honest. But yeah, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, I said I'm not talking about trading Ondo, but long term. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, long term, Ondo is something I wish I owned more of. So honestly, short term, I hope it dumps so I can pick up more, even if we come back down to this area of consolidation. And shout out to Seth. Yeah, not a lot of people know how to separate the trading from the long term, right? Like they say, oh my God, I'm bearish on the 4-hour. That means I can't buy it. But yeah, absolutely. You got to make sure you can separate those trading and long-term outlooks. Long-term on Ondo, I'm definitely bullish. I just hope short-term I'm bearish because I want it to go down so I could buy some. Let's see. Yo, Creighton C said, oh my God, if Frankie ever meets someone named Harry, I want to be there to watch it live. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's go. You're a wizard, Harry. Anyway. I've never even fully watched a Harry Potter movie. I just know that guy says that. You're a wizard, Harry. Anyway, shout out to the Salty Biscuit. Anyway, let's continue on here, guys, and take a look at Sol, or Sol, as some people say, or Solonzo, as James Kramer would call it. And here we are. Can't make it up, guys. Solana, literally right at our key level, which is the POC, which was the doorway to higher prices, as you guys know, a while ago when we were fighting to get back above this level. This was our doorway to higher prices. And then what happened once we broke it? Absolute blast off. And then we came back down, retested it as support, got another move to the upside, and now we are just coming right back down. Take a look at the daily. Yeah, God, VWAP coming down on the daily, guys. I would be careful. Daily red dots could easily bring price down a little bit, but as long as Solana remains above the value area low here, sitting at about $132, as long as you hold above this blue zone, we could still technically have the door open to the higher prices here between $163 and about $178 would be the next major targets, in my opinion, if you do get a strong bounce. However, I mean, this is all reliant on Total 3 holding support. If Total 3 breaks down, I would probably, if you get another big dump on the alts here, key levels below remain the same as they have been for forever on Solana, at least between $108 and $101 down here by this previous value area high POC. But as long as you're able to remain above this POC and value area low currently, in my opinion, you're still within the volume profile, right? So as long as you remain above here, could still potentially get a bounce. Now, is there a reason to look for a bounce right this second? I think that next 4-hour green dot is probably going to give you some kind of move up. But again, with the daily red dot about to print, I would probably put the longer-term move on that daily. So I'd be err with caution here on Solana with that daily red dot. Honestly, with a lot of things. Almost everything has that daily red dot. So please be careful out there. All right, let's see. Shout out to Golden said, I'm not going to be in Nashville this year because I'm over in Europe. Dang, Golden's still out there traveling. Let's go. Shout out the life of Golden. You should start a YouTube channel, Golden, and just do crazy vlogs, like of you doing crazy stuff. Shout out to Golden. Dang, I was actually going to ask that. If you guys are going to be out in Nashville, guys, we will be there. So shout out, put a 1 in the chat or put a hashtag value in the chat if you guys are going to be in Nashville. If you guys are out there and you see us roaming around, please, for the love of God, come up and say hi to us. It's like our favorite part, or my personal favorite part of this whole job is going out there and putting face to these names in the chat. Super, super cool. So make sure you come up and say hi if you see us out there. Shout out to SPT Rob says, what's that red dot indicator name, please? This is called Market Cipher. If you want to sign up for Market Cipher, you can check the link in the description down below and use my discount code MCFrank20. I want to be clear. I don't say that because I have a discount code. I've been using Market Cipher for years now. It is a main part of my analysis. This is not just some random sponsorship. I say this all the time. I do not promote things that actually work. I don't promote things that don't actually work, right? I promote things that I genuinely use every day. And it's just easier to promote those things, right? So we're not just like putting on a show. So yeah, that's Market Cipher B. You could use my discount code if you want to save some money, or just go to the website. Totally fine. Doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. But there you go. Shout out to Simano said, Frankie Candles, are you streaming tomorrow? It depends, right? Tomorrow's obviously the 4th of July. I do have some plans, but they're not until a little bit later in the day. I'm doing a Twitter space on with Fimo, so make sure you guys come and check that out as well. I think I'm going to be on with Tom Crown probably. Shout out to Tom Crown. Go check out his YouTube channel. We love Tom on this channel. But I will say it depends on what price action does, right? If price action is just kind of hanging out, maybe we come down a little bit, up a little bit. I might do a market update. If the market moves, I'll put something out. But I will be I'm not going to be here. Like, I'm not going to be home for the or I won't be at the studio for at 5:45. So I don't plan on going live. But if something happens, I will probably drop a market update or something. But yeah, I said have a day with the fam. Shout out to Wick 589. I don't plan on it, but if the market dumps, I'll drop something. I won't leave you guys completely stranded. Don't you worry. But yeah, I mean, who knows? If something crazy happens, maybe I just will cancel my plans and go live. Who knows? But let's see. Tony D said plans are at 4, lol. Yeah, shout out to Tony D. I mean, if Bitcoin nukes tomorrow and we start like approaching that 51 to 52K level, which I wouldn't necessarily expect right now, but if something like that happened, we could change plans. It really depends on Bitcoin. Like everything else in my life, hey, Frank, you want to come do something cool with us? Yeah, I'm down. Cool. When is it? It's like, okay, I'm definitely going to come as long as Bitcoin doesn't move. I will say, it's very hard. I'm extremely blessed, right? And I think about this every day. I do feel extremely lucky and blessed to be in the position I'm in right now, to be able to do this every day, right? And share this stuff with you guys. But it is stressful sometimes because it's like every time Bitcoin does something, it's like if I can't stream, the amount of anxiety that I get if I can't get on a live stream or make a video for you guys, it's crazy. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But obviously it is more rewarding than it is anxiety riddling. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Enjoy the 4th, dude. We'll be all right. Shout out to Seth. I appreciate you, brother. Most of the time, it's just like I want to talk about price. So it's like, oh, Bitcoin's so much fun right now. I don't want to go. But yeah, no, I don't plan on going live, but we'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and continue on and take a look at our next altcoin. That's basically all I got for you guys on Solana. Let's go ahead and check Inge. I'm just kidding. I love when people say names really funny. Inge. It's funny. I mean, everyone kind of says stuff differently. Some people say Cardano. Some people say Cardano. I'm definitely a Cardano guy. Some people say ETH. Do you ever hear someone say ETH? Some people say ETH. Some people say ETH. It's actually one of my good friends says ETH. But it's like, what's right? I mean, I guess you'd have to listen to what Vitalik says. Or I guess whoever's in charge of INJ. 42K soon. Shout out to Smash. Yo, shout out to Smash Toshi. That's a lit name, bro. I will say this. If you were to ask me, hey, do you see anything at 42K that would interest you? I would say, we've actually looked at it on the live stream many and many times. 42K, POC of this range is very enticing. Like we've been saying, 51 to 52, probably going to be that first stop. If we do get the big move down, right? That's a big if. But if we do get that big move down, and break this level, the doorway to lower prices here, right? Probably going to get that move down to 51 to 52. If we lose that 51 to 52, this is the next region in question. And what is the POC of this range? 42.5, right? 42.6, 42.7, right? This whole zone between about, right? This is rough numbers here. 44.6 and 40,800. Definitely going to be a much stronger level of support, in my opinion, even stronger than 51 to 52. And this could be easily visualized on the volume profile. High volume node, more significant high volume node, right? Doesn't guarantee that we're not going to hold this and definitely come down here, but this would be definitely a saucy level. But yeah. Anyway, let's continue on here. 15K, shout out to Grizzly Bull. We're going to 15K, guys. I mean, hey, anything's possible. Yeah, shout out to Robert, says if Bitcoin goes to 42K, BlackRock will empty the exchanges. Probably. All right, let's go ahead and continue on to INJ. Bada boom. Here we are. Let's see. Was it INJ we were looking at yesterday where I was like, hey, I think these levels are kind of scary looking, but we might come down to them? Maybe. But this is what I'd be looking at on INJ for sure, right? This should actually be purple, right? Because that was resistance. We probably were looking at this as we were coming down. But hey, very similar to Bitcoin, right? What is this? This is from April. Yeah, this is the massive range, right? Breakdown below the profile, bearish retest on the value area low. If you are unable to reclaim this value area low and get a move through the range, could be a bigger rejection down to your next key, zone of support, coming down here between 1823 and 1591. Now, this is not a guarantee. This is not a guarantee. However, I mean, technically, you could argue that you could potentially, even this, right? You're coming down to the golden pocket, maybe even come down to test the 786, put in a local higher low to get accepted back into the range and get a bigger move up, potentially something like that. But is this a blood diamond on the daily is the question. And the answer is yes. That is horrifying, especially on an altcoin. Now, actually, historically on INJ, they haven't been too bad. This one gave you about a 13% move. This one gave you about a 20% move. 26. About 20%. Yeah, hey. What is this giving you so far? 10. Drop it another. Yeah, maybe a 20% move down to this value area high. Here's the thing, right? If you lose this 786, you may be at risk of dropping down to this next volume profile coming from this area of price action here. Pull up the VPVR just to visualize it on the volume. Yeesh. Dance in danger because you can see this high volume node is kind of your last level of support until you break down into this volume gap here. Could be a quick move down to our next key zone, right? And that's just very simply put, sitting between 1832 and 1591, daily blood diamond, definitely not a bullish case here, right? Definitely not a super bullish scenario. So also doesn't guarantee you nuke, right? Like we said, 20% would bring you down to this value area high. So that would be definitely the level I'm watching if we do continue down. Let me actually pull this macro fib real quick. Bada boom. Yikes. Yeah, definitely looking down towards this volume profile if you get the bigger move. And that daily blood diamond is definitely not bullish. Lower time frames, take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour green dot on a lot of this stuff is likely what's going to give you some kind of pop to the upside. But with the high time frame red dots, not even considering the money flow crossovers into the red, I would be very, very, very careful here. So, with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully, we could see Bitcoin at least bounce up back into its local range to go get that move up to that local value area high. But like I said, in the long run, guys, on the higher time frames, as you know, as we've bearishly retested that value area low, which is the doorway to higher prices, we got absolutely rejected from that zone. So until we see that higher time frame money flow come back to the upside, I am going to be leaning a little bit more bearish in the long term. Again, it doesn't guarantee that the dump is coming, but we really need to see that money flow start curving in the right direction because as soon as we got the retracement, right, real quick, before we sign off, as soon as we started getting this retracement to the upside, it's like everyone started getting bullish again. It's crazy. It's like you come down, you get that little retracement to the upside, and everyone's like, yeah, Like, everyone thought it was going to dump, and now we're just coming back up. I think this is bullish. But it's like, what are you basing that bullishness off of? Just because you see green candles? Like, we came right up into the rejection zone and got the big nuke to the downside. So please, for the love of God, guys, you can already tell, right? Like, even on like on social media and stuff, like, everybody's kind of getting like emotional, like, it's never going down. And then the bulls are like, or the bears are like, it's never going back up. Just remember, guys, emotions have zero place in your trading. We are technical traders, and we base our decisions off of information on the chart. Not what somebody says on Twitter, not even what someone says on YouTube. You should not base your decisions based off of what I say or any other YouTuber or any other Twitter person says. Base your information on what you see on the charts, right? Because I could potentially read a level wrong, and then you might want to look at the chart and be like, hey, that's the wrong level, right? He said 32, but he's blind. He read the wrong number. Now, we don't typically read the wrong numbers, but just remember, emotions have no place in your trading. Facts, information, data, levels, numbers don't lie. People and emotions do, especially if they have a motive to evoke emotions in people, because that's how they make their money. So remember that, guys. So with all that being said, shout out to the CandleMafia. Shout out to K Diggity, Mark Dutch, Retro Mike Tech, Golden. Thank you so much for gifting all those memberships again. Eternally grateful for you, brother. Let's see. Shout out to Bala, or Baya, as I like to say. Shout out to Rickson. Shout out to Elite Ways, Mark Dutch, Dave Digital. I don't know if Dave's still in here. Seth Shepard, Harry Potter. You're a wizard, Harry. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and I will see you next time right here, same place, same time. Not tomorrow, but probably not tomorrow, but definitely on Friday, right here, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Pray for Bitcoin. Bing bong.
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second.
Dave is still here. Let's go.
They should have had them 2 bells ready. Speech on for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, I can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
And a quick little check-in for Elite Ways EZ on Sheeb. Here we go. Right off the bat, Daily Yellow X, second Daily Yellow X printing here on Sheeb. Not necessarily the best signal here, as this is a manipulation X, typically indicating manipulation to the downside. Fresh red dot on the daily as well. 2-day, looking to curve over here. Let's check the 16-hour. 6-hour, yeah. Ooh, 6-hour money flow kind of trending up here. Yeah, I would right now, guys, with this daily yellow X. Now, not a guarantee, but typically these daily yellow X's are indicative of additional moves to the downside. First, we're going to need TradingView to just respond. There we go. These are typically not bullish signs. So I would be very, very careful. You know, worst case scenario here, if we do get like a massive dump for some reason, which I don't know if I'd necessarily expect right now, as we've already gotten a pretty big drop on Bitcoin. It's kind of already played out, so not that it won't come, but I don't know if it's going to happen right this second. But this yellow X is not necessarily a bullish sign. You're losing your macro volume profile here, and if you get that bigger move to the downside, I will say next key level of support is going to be down here at about 1344 at your previous value area high. And then not only would this be looked at as key support, but if you break down below it, it becomes key resistance and could signal a much bigger move down. Now, I'm not necessarily expecting that to happen, but it's an if this, then that situation. If you get that move down, then this is key support. If you break below it and retest it as resistance and can't get back above, then you're probably going to the POC. Then if you lose the POC, probably going to the value area low. But right now, no real clear signal to look for a massive bounce. Sure, you are putting in slight bullish, very slight bullish divergences here, but there's not much confirmation here. For me personally, I'm waiting for the dust to settle here for the most part. Other than like smaller scalps that we might take in the premium Discord, I'm kind of letting the dust settle here to let price kind of find its floor, find its bearing, and then we'll make our decisions as price action comes in and we get more clear signals. So with all that being said, guys, that's all the time. That's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Inspector Chris says, call your mom, bro. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate every single one of you gues. Don't forget, check out FrankieCandlesTrading.com if you're looking for any deals. If you're looking for a place to trade, we got discounts on almost everything. Usually the best deal out there. So check those links. Go to Frankie Candles. Links in the description. Whatever. Have a happy 4th of July. Don't blow your hands off. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Pedal to the floor, ayy. On a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey. On a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out.